Good day to you peeps, Liesl here once more, and today I am delighted to be bringing to us the extra special Bits Between the Bits. As this is a Bits Between the Bits extra really, but it's also special because we have Q&As, a few updates on the builds themselves, yes, even this early in the process. More will be revealed, and yeah, discussing comments and questions in the comments. So yeah, straight in really. This is obviously not rehearsed or anything like that. I was going to do a community post, but I thought no, there's too much to fit into a community post, so I thought we'd basically do an extra video. So yeah, let's waffle and straight in. Okay, so taking it from the top, the moped that we're doing, our resonator instrument, yeah, has had a slight change of plan, although it's still on course, but I've basically decided to change the box that we are going to use for the builds, largely for reasons of practicality really. I did think that for this particular one, the black box that I was going to use might be slightly unworkable, and I want a bit more room to manoeuvre. But as luck would have it, and luck often does, Providence did turn a hand, because digging through the array of boxes that are over here, I came across this, which ticks a lot of boxes for me. No more puns. But anyway, we have this crow, and it is let me see, it's made by Tabacalera, and I pronounce that terribly, do forgive me, Blackbird Dominicana. There you go. Blah de blah. Trying to find some identifying features, but yeah, anyway, it is crow. Is that San Andres? Do forgive my rather British vernacular. I don't know quite how you pronounce that. You can see the mess on the front. That's going to be gone, yeah. But it just so happens that I think anyway, and it's reasonable to say, I do believe, that is a pretty good fit on the front of there. Yeah. And so I decided to go with this cabinet box. Another reason being, I think you get a good sound with a cabinet box. There's plenty of room in there as well. Obviously it is pretty thick. The wood. Not too bad. We did discuss materials, which I'm going to get onto very shortly in this video actually. Also, to do with great sounds and resonance and all this sort of thing. But I did feel that as we're going to have a resonator, which will take up most of the front, so very similar in a way to a license plate guitar. It still kind of reminds me of a moped. It kind of reminds me of a vintage London bus now though. I don't know, what do you think? I'll let you decide. I have got a set of handlebars, but I think they might be a bit large for this project, okay? Okay, I promise I'll try not to come out of any more Liesl jokes. Alright, I'll do my best. So I thought we could go with that instead. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good fit. Looking around the room. Here's the neck and the fingerboard. This we're going to do a blonde kind of colour using the turmeric and everything. So at least in colour it'll be something similar to walnut, although obviously the grain pattern will be nothing like walnut. But I have done this before in the past, and yes, that's going to come in with this box here on the colouring series and videos, yeah, that we're about to do. I think I very quickly toshed this out with some cheap coffee stain last time. You can see where it has gone darker in the middle. That's basically to catch these darker grains. I'm going to sand that all again and then go in with the blonde to hopefully get that sort of warm tone, as we do intend to do something like a sunburst. Now I can't guarantee it's going to come out anything like that, and I wouldn't guarantee actually, because, well, I've never tried it for one thing. I've used the colours individually but never kind of tried to merge them together. This one did get a slight wound on the back, as we remember. Yeah, this is going toward another build, which you will see in a minute, yeah, which is something of a back burner, along with one or two other back burner items, yeah. But not wanting to digress too much, yeah, this is going on another instrument. I've planned what we're doing with this now. So hopefully job's a good one with it. It will be reinforced anyway on the inside with more wood, etc. But I wanted to kind of keep this on the back, and I like this. So we will fill that. Yeah, I'm going to show you, because I bang on all the time about Carpenter's Fairy Dust and wood glue being the best filler, and it is. You can make putty with it and everything. But really, I've not shown very much of that, I didn't think. So we will feature that along with the colours, etc. Yeah, and yeah, there you go. Jobs are good, and again, hopefully anyway. And leading on once more, because they do all lead on. Yeah, we will not be wasting the Rocky Patel box. Don't worry about that. I'll show you why now. Because we're still going to use this as a resonator thingy, there's a technical term for you, as a resonator instrument. It will become. I'm not going to use this, it just practically won't work out, I don't think. Yeah, it's quite a flat box, you see, which is another reason why I went for the deeper one. More will be revealed, yeah, absolutely. But being as there has been, not too long ago, quite a seasonal festive time, we have accumulated things like this. This came from Flying Tiger. It did have some cookies in there. Yeah. And this. Okay, do forgive. I'm not particularly keen on the artwork here, but don't worry about that, because it's going to go this way around. So yeah, hence another resonator instrument. Hopefully, most likely, will be on the way pretty soon, once we've got through all the other stuff. So that's that. Yeah, I've put nothing in the captain's log, so this is all totally off the cuff, as I'm sure you can tell. All right. Back to our Monte Cristo box. Yeah, so basically, if you've been around a little while, you will remember our medieval stroke Elizabethan punk instrument that we did create, which I claimed to have invented. I'm sure I haven't. I'm sure there are plenty of other things like this, but I claim to have invented this in any case, which was our Gemma, as I call these, because she was the first one, Gemma. Yeah, built during Gemini season. Yeah, so in the summer when it's nice and warm. And she's having a complete rebuild, as really she was the prototype, which led on to Hemingway, who is also a Gemma, because it was also built in Gemini season. It's a long story, but there it is. A nice sort of, I don't know, it's almost like a one or double string, like one string mandolin, could you say, or something. You get the idea. Okay. Get out. Anyway, led on to Hemingway, which I do love this. I love the shape of the body on it. It's a bit like a balalaika in a way. Yeah. The original being Gemma, right? Like, this looks brutal, but I promise you it's not. Okay, because at the moment she's had the neck removed, which is going to have quite a refurbishment, and will basically be going onto this box here, which I think will make for quite a nice refit for this one. Yeah, with all the lovely colours and everything. So that's basically what we're going to do with this. And obviously a few sort of like tutorials on the way, and learning together and discovering together what are the pitfalls, what are the advantages, and all these sorts of things, as we always do. And I had such a great time with the comments this time. Like, everyone who commented, thank you ever so much, because it's all leading on to something else. And I do appreciate the you know, your experience and your advice as well, like especially people that are building things quite regularly. Yeah, because, you know, we pool all this knowledge, and we do come up with some pretty weird and wonderful things, I think. So there it is in any case. Yeah, so that's that part. Yeah, I do think, you know, we got a reasonable result with the diddly bow that had the rather thick body and piezo basically inserted into the lid. Not quite as bright a sound, was it, as good old Mr. Swish, who, looking around, is behind me. He really is one of my favourites, this one. Yeah, totally. Have I got a slide? Probably not. No. If I find a slide, we'll have a tune. There you go. Quit while you're ahead, Liesl. Ah. You can see this is totally unrehearsed, right? Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Swish. Which again leads me on really to what are the best boxes to use, you know. I think the older ones actually, and I'm searching again for my next prop, which I can't find. Bear with me one sec. Oh, here. Which I do think lend to making quite a good sound. Now, I've never really start again. I've never really featured this one. This box, I want to try and show you this because it's quite amazing, look, in terms of how old it is. A huge tax label on there. Yeah, and I think it's an H. Upman, if I'm right. Yes, it is. It's splattered right across the front. There you go. And I think this is probably 1950s or 1960s. I mean, based on my very basic knowledge of cigar boxes, which is very basic, by the way. If you hear a buzz and a rattle, it is actually the machine, which is so old and had it now, as you can see. But this one does make a great sound. There's nothing in there. It is literally a stick in a box. I did kind of moisturize it quite a lot with oil, and that I oiled it quite a lot and stuff because it was very dry. I got an excellent price on a few of these from an Etsy seller. Yep. Who basically let me have the job lot in the end at a very reasonable price. And I do think that this makes a lovely sound. It's not plywood, it's actually very thin wood, which has had years to dry out and season, like a Stradivarius, right? Not quite, but you get the point, yeah? But the sound's quite amazing, quite incredible. Now I've got one or two more of these, yeah. So I think at some point it will be interesting to see what else we can get out of these old boxes, because they really are something else. You know, to get ones this old was pretty good, I thought. I've had one or two over the years. They didn't last. This one's held out pretty well and it's been knocked around, as you can see, knocked around, what have you, and still going strong. The neck itself was a gift from the parking lot fairies. So someone did throw this neck out. You can see it's had quite a long service life as a handle for something. So I decided to use that because it went with the old box. And yeah, done in the usual way, but if you're good with a knife and you can whittle, I can't say that word very well with my accent, and you can whittle well, you know, you can achieve this the same way. So even if you've only got like a pocket knife or something, you know, and a hammer, and just maybe like some basic drill and stuff, you can do these. Yeah, getting back to the sort of intrinsic nature of these things, which I do like to revisit, especially when things have been getting very electrical or far out and sophisticated. I like to sort of go back and explore the very sort of like homespun and intrinsic, innate quality. There you go, there's the word I was looking for. Innate quality of these things. So I think Greenie was one step ahead of me. Before I waffle on too much about that, because I could talk about these all day, we'll move on from there. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much most things covered really. So yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, it's okay, like if you start a project and then you think, oh, this isn't going very well, don't abandon it, sleep on it. The next day you might find a better way of doing it. Also, you know, rebuilding things now, as you can see, Gemma needs quite a bit of work, but this will be a labour of love because she was my prototype for this sort of thing. I don't really remember much about this build. I just kind of got going, and with this strange head angle, you know, that was basically because I only had a 45-degree mitre. Yeah, and 22 would have been better. I haven't got a lot of sophisticated equipment, so yeah, a 45-degree angle on the headstock, but I tell you what, this one never goes out of tune. She never went out of tune at all. So she will get a refit. We will see her looking spangling and lovely. That's going to be a labour of love from me. So in other words, it's just going to be something that I'm doing now and again until she's complete. Over time, because I think it's good to take your time. Sometimes you might want something out of necessity. You might just really want to play something, right? Or other times you might just want to think, oh, I love that one. I could improve it. I could renovate it. I could do this, that and the other with it. as many of us have said, you know, who've built these instruments or are building them, and you know, if you're on a build at the moment, all power to your elbow. Yeah, absolutely, because you know, it is true. Someone alluded in the comments, one or two of us actually, that there's nothing like it. You know, you build something, the first note you ever strike on that instrument, especially if it's the first instrument you've ever had, it's better than your first car. It really is, you know. It's like, it sounds amazing, whatever it is, and you think, actually, I built that. You know, half an hour later, you're playing it, and, well, you don't need me to tell you. Sorry, it's all these announcements coming up on my phone. They keep distracting me. I have to switch them off, but I forgot, you know. So yeah, there, that is really. Yes, we have plenty of these scrap cans and tins. I've got some square ones as well now, etc. So I'm sure we'll be using these for some more canjo-y style instruments and what have you. Coming up over this year. Probably take us up to the summer, to be honest, yeah. And looking around the room, yeah, I think that's probably about it for now. Oh no, one more thing, and I almost forgot. Also, in our new series, the first of our bits from the back burner, okay, will be, oh, and she is heavy, bassy bass. Is also going to get slightly modified. Yeah, I'm going to take the neck down a little bit on this. Again, I remember when I built this, and because everything went with the body, I mean, it went wrong with the body, everything went on it, right? I ended up building a body, kind of again out of necessity, and I did that just with scraps of plywood that I had. It's not bad at all, and she sounds brilliant, but I think we could get that looking a bit better, you know. Although really, there's nothing wrong with this one. Very basic, very kind of hatched together. I did find the brackets that are holding the neck in on this. I haven't got them with me, but when we do this, I'll show you, because they're held in with huge metal brackets. And if you've been following this one, yeah, you'll see what I mean. But this one does sound brilliant, as I remember. Not played her in a long time. Do need to kind of slightly take that neck down. But then I think we will have something. Yeah, we'll tidy up the headstock a little bit and what have you. Maybe recolour or even paint it. But I don't know. I quite like this effect, really. I use just about every colour on this. So that gives us something of an idea. If you look on the back, it's kind of what I'm aiming for the back of our sunburst, which will go on Gemma, but a little bit more. A little bit more. If I laughed, the minute I said Gemma, and like a notification came up that said Gemini. So there you go. Synchronicities, my friend. Meaningful coincidences, right? Okay, and that really is it now, peeps. Yeah, I know this has been quite a long video, so I do appreciate everyone who stayed to the end, everyone who even watched 2 minutes. I appreciate that as well, yeah, and thanks for dropping by. That's everything covered. Yeah, I'm going to go and set up now and probably do a little bit this afternoon, although it's getting a bit late here. Whoops. I did just want to say very briefly as well, thanks for all the well wishes. Yeah, we did have some pretty stormy weather here in the UK. It wasn't too bad down south where I am, in southeast England where I live. My big sis Jill, she's up in North Wales, and I think they had a slightly more bad weather there, because she said she had a bit of a trial getting into work one day. But I do think she got there, so like, it did hit a lot of the UK pretty bad. I know up in Scotland they were on red alerts, which I've never heard of in the UK. We had an amber warning, as they like to say here, which can be anything from nothing but heavy rain really, to some pretty gusty winds. I say that because the rain is kind of lashing the windows again today, and the wind is up. But you know, as often in the British Isles, because it's been raining, everything is a luscious green colour, and that is absolutely beautiful, you know. Like these old 1950s movies, you see, you know, where it's Robin Hood or something, and everything's so unbelievably green in glorious Technicolor, but it really is like that here today. So yeah, I'm kind of rambling on now, but I did just want to say thank you very much. Yeah, for all the well-wishing, what have you. Yeah, we're A-okay here. Everything's kind of returning pretty much to normal from the disruption on the roads and that sort of thing in the UK. And yeah, I say we weathered it pretty well, no pun intended. So there it is. I really do think I've covered just about everything that I wanted to cover today. If you have stayed till the end, thank you ever so much. A great thanks and gratitude to every single one of you in this community, in the wider community of cigar box guitar instruments, and the wider community in general, the World Wide Web. So there you go. Until next time, peeps, wherever you are, do stay safe. Whatever you're doing, do stay blessed. And whatever life brings, keep building. Okay then, peeps. Till next time. Bye for now.